9440. 4405. 9440.
All right, welcome back, crime fighters, for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place by helping us lock up the bad guys. I'm Chris Wright, along with Calhoun County Sheriff Matthew Wade. Did you have a good Memorial Day?
I did. It was quiet. We didn't have a whole lot going on, which is, in my world, is rare and good. So we'll take them when we can get them.
Yep. So, I messed up the Memorial Day. I burnt the burgers. Which is bad on any Memorial Day, right? Any time it's bad when you burn the burgers, but when you're paying over $6 a pound for ground beef.
Well, we call that a lesson that you don't want to make twice. I did barbecue out yesterday. We grilled burgers and hot dogs, and I didn't burn them. I did burn the hot dogs, but on purpose.
Yeah, but, I like a hot dog's got a little burn on it.
That's
but
right.
The burgers, my wife was not happy. Not happy at all. Right. Let's talk about how our viewers have done.
Hey, one arrest, we'll take it. David Cooper, you're behind bars all because somebody else was willing to get involved. And on a second note, Chris, what brings our count up to 4,567 people arrested all because somebody got involved. But I really have to brag on the deputies. In the past 2 weeks, our night shift deputies have stopped 2 burglaries in progress. And
that's not easy to do.
Not easy to do, and really one of them was a school. They were just doing a standard business check, noticed the door was ajar. They go in and check it out and catch 2 juveniles in there doing some vandalism and stealing. So they arrested those 2 juveniles in one of our county schools, and wouldn't have been known that it happened if it wasn't for them just doing the routine stuff that they do, and they were very observant. And the second one was like this show. It took the business owners help. Business owner invested in some technology. So this car comes into a mini storage area and it alerts him that somebody come in. He called us. We were there within just a minute or two, caught the van, and you say, well, the owner did it. Well, he did. He alerted us, but the deputies caught the 2 people. They were claiming they were there for other reasons. And the deputies did a really good investigation and was able to determine the stuff in their car was stolen and was able to put it to who it needed to be. And we believe these people have been doing this in multiple areas. So hopefully we got them off the street and got that stopped. But stopping a burglary in progress doesn't happen that often, and we're proud of that we've been able to do 2 in the last couple of weeks. And we couldn't do it without the business owner. We couldn't do it without the people watching this show and being partners with us. So we're really proud of the relationship we have with our citizens, and that's something we want to keep on a good level.
Timing plays a little bit of a role in that. We can't always expect that when we call the sheriff's office within a minute or 2, somebody's going to be at the door.
We really want that. We try really hard, but not always. But we, customer service is something that we really strive for. And in the sheriff's office, there's 612 square miles in Calhoun County, and that is not always the case. Sometimes it takes us a little longer just because we have a larger geographical area, but we strive really hard to make those kind of things happen. And since it does take us a little longer sometimes, well, in any case, we can't do it if we don't have the backing of our citizens and people trusting us enough to call us and tell us what's going on and help us. It's definitely not a us and them, it's just us, and we try our best to make sure the citizens know that we're there for them.
All right. Well, we're going to call on you again here in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the first half of this week's lineup, see if you can recognize anybody and give us some helpful information on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Methods for a job search have greatly changed since I went looking for a job. We meticulously wrote a resume, filled out an application to physically return, then we sat and wait for a phone call to come in for an interview. With the recent graduation of our local high school seniors, college seniors, and others looking for a job, there is the internet job search websites to explore. Unfortunately, many of these websites such as Monster, ZipRecruiter, Indeed, and so many more are now being used by scammers also. My high school senior recently got an email from jobblur.com. The email stated she could earn at least $24 an hour for working at home. This was a repacking and reshipping opportunity. Ordered items would be shipped to our address. They would send a new label to cover the old one, then she would send it out. Easy. Great pay, too. Unfortunately, this is a scam, a type of money laundering. Sometimes it could be a check, a money order, or a retail package from a reputable store. But the item may have been bought with a stolen credit card or bank account number. The person listed on the shipping label may have been as unsuspecting as you. This package could be sent to 3 or 4 people before the final destination. Other times the emails that one would get offering jobs with click here for more information or click here to apply are actually phishing for your Social Security and driver's license numbers. They may need your banking information to deposit your paycheck. They may send you a paycheck, but it might be over the amount, and they would ask that you cash it and send back the difference. It's a bogus check, and they only want the cash that you can get. Be aware of the website you are responding to. Read the address of the email it was sent from. Research the website and the company name, and warn those who are venturing out into our business world for the first time. For more information, you can call me, Nancy Hilton, at the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, 256-236-6600.
All right, let's get down to business with the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We start with Jesse McFry of Anniston on probation violation, wanted for possession of a controlled substance. Justin Chastain of Anniston, wanted on a failure to appear warrant, criminal trespass, first degree. Austin Hudgens of Alexandria, wanted on a failure to appear warrant, possession of marijuana, second degree. Lakeith Williams of Anniston, wanted on a failure to appear warrant, criminal trespass, third degree. Justin Calhoun of Anniston, wanted for violating a domestic violence protection order. And Hans Luckadoo of Anniston, wanted on obstructing justice using a false identity. That's just the first half of this week's lineup. We'll have some more coming up for you in just a few minutes. If you have information about anyone in the lineup, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. All right, so we are back. We'll have the second half of this week's lineup for you here in just a few minutes. Sheriff, let's get a new update, fresh update on how we are here in Calhoun County as the pandemic continues to roll on. But
sure, and we'll start with the sheriff's office itself. We never changed anything we did. We kept the services the same. I keep saying that. I just really felt citizens. I know I'm a broken record, but I really wanted the citizens to know that we were here for them. They needed to have somebody they knew was a solid constant, and that's what we tried to do. We didn't change anything, and so far, knock on wood, you know, it's bound to happen. It's a virus, but no sheriff's office employee, no person, no jail inmate has tested positive for COVID. We are really working hard to keep the jail disinfected, keep our deputies' patrol cars disinfected. They're taking all the precautions they can, and we're doing screenings and disinfecting, and so far we haven't had anybody. Now, out of that, we've had to send some people home for quarantine because they'd been exposed this here, there, and other. And those people that had been exposed none were from the jail. They were all from outside sources. 2 of them were exposed because we sent them to occupational medicine for a work-related issue, and a person that was there was positive. Now we had to send them home, and they got tested. They were all good. So far, nobody at the sheriff's office, no inmate has tested positive. And you know, I don't want to tout that as something good because it is a virus. At some point it's going to happen, but we're doing all that we know to do, and so far, 8-10 weeks into this, we're still negative at the jail. If we have one, we're going to be open and honest about it. I mean, it's a virus. It's not like we're wanting this to happen or allowing this to happen. But we have put a lot of measures in place that if inmate becomes sick, we're getting them to where they need to be. We're isolating them.
When you build a jail, you'd love nothing better than to never use it, but
That's
you know
right.
you're going to use it.
That's right.
And when the virus comes around, you'd love nothing better than to never have that virus get into the jail. You know it's going to at some point in some way, but you're still going to do everything you can to make it take as long to get here as possible and keep that number as low as possible.
And we have been blessed so far. You know, we can tout what we've done, but some of it is just probably pure luck. You know, when they built the jail 30-something years ago, they didn't incorporate COVID-19 into having isolation cells and things of that nature. So we've identified some things at the jail that need to be changed. It's going to take some construction. One of it is our HVAC system is one big HVAC. So, you know, that needs to be corrected where we can put somebody in a wing, and in that wing it's separate. So we're doing some things there that are different, trying to find ways to make it better, but I'm really proud of the people at the Sheriff's Office. None of them griped and complained. They come to work. None of them called out sick, or none of them, you know, griped about having to be there. They've all done what you would expect out of people that are public servants, and for that I'm grateful for them. And we were really worried about, we have a lot of young people, we were worried that they might call out sick or what, but they've all been stand-up people.
So at this point, the number in the Calhoun County Jail is still that beautiful 0 goose egg. There are a lot of different numbers that we keep seeing throughout Alabama and Calhoun County, and the different numbers mean different things, and they always say a little information is a dangerous thing. If you're just looking at numbers and you don't understand context, it's easy to get drawn one direction or the other in a way that's not necessarily correct. So we've got numbers of cases in Calhoun County, but we also need to look at number of people who have recovered.
That's right. You know, I really wish we would do more touting of how many people have recovered, and I know that might be a harder number to come by, but I think we're 130 something cases of people that's tested positive in Calhoun County. I get those numbers.
But the active number?
The active number is less than 30. And, you know, and less than 30 people out of 112,000, 115,000 people that we know of course. I'm sure there's out there that we don't know of, have an active case of COVID. So when you start putting 115,000 and you got less than 30 that we know have it, that's pretty good numbers. And you know, so Calhoun County's been blessed and doing really well.
All right, we need to take a break. We will come back and talk some more, and we'll have the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. All right, here we go with the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Jamie Cheatham of Anniston wanted on bond revocation, possession of a controlled substance, and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. Sigay Abera of Russellville wanted on a probation violation for having a pistol. Certain persons forbidden to own possess a pistol. Sheila Vandergriff of Anniston wanted for failure to pay for murder. Melissa Schaefer of Jacksonville wanted on a failure to appear warrant permitting dogs to run at large. Kelly Riley of Weaver wanted on a failure to appear warrant for domestic violence, third-degree harassment. Ronald Seymour of Anniston wanted on a failure to appear warrant, domestic violence, second degree. Israel Summerhour of Anniston wanted on a probation violation, possession of marijuana, first degree. If you have information, please contact Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. We want your information, not your name. All right, coming up in just a bit, we'll talk about some property crimes that hopefully you can help us figure out a little bit. Again, some property crimes hopefully have been prevented with the help of our deputies catching some burglaries in process.
Absolutely, you know, and we were just talking about numbers of the COVID cases. It's really easy to identify how much crime we got. It's really hard to identify how much crime is stopped because of deputy sheriffs, law enforcement, or just concerned citizens being nosy. I always like somebody said, well, you got a nosy neighbor. I said, I love them too. You know, they know when I come and go, and I love it. If they see something that doesn't stand out, they come check it out. So it's hard to measure that, but it does happen.
Yeah, so we appreciate the information coming in from the public. We appreciate the deputies doing a fine job.
Absolutely.
You know, when you do actually, it is rare, as you mentioned earlier, to actually encounter that burglary in progress. It's also a little bit dangerous at that point.
Oh, absolutely.
You got people that are, you know, alert and ready to defend themselves or try to prevent being arrested.
You know, and law enforcement is definitely a reactive thing mostly. You know, if you get a call of a suspicious vehicle, those people that are there, they know what they're doing. They know what has happened. Deputy sheriffs are trying to find out.
Yeah, most of the time when the deputy sheriffs show up, it turns out to be nothing.
Most of the time.
So in their mind, it's not as alert as you train yourself to be as alert as you can at all times, but we're humans. You're not going into that situation knowing that there's something going on, whereas that person involved in the crime, they know it's going on.
Absolutely, and you know, keeping that vigilance up is something that they train for, and you know, it's called complacency. We talk about complacency all the time at the sheriff's office, whether it be complacency handling a firearm, or just even customer service, where somebody comes to you and they're having a terrible day because something bad's happened in their life. You know, you can't get complacent. You got to keep your empathy and your sympathy up, and care, and try to help people. So we talk about being vigilant and staying on that mark all the time for all different types of reasons. And you know, the biggest reason is to be safe and to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. And we use it all the time. We talk about servant's heart, but really what that means is doing what's right for the citizen, not what's right for us. And I tell deputies all the time, if you have a question about what you should do, ask yourself, is it better for me or is it better for the citizen? If it's better for me because it's quitting time and I don't really want to take this report because I want to get off on time, that's the wrong thing to do. Mm-hmm. If it's better for the citizen to take the report, then that's what we need to do.
Yeah. Now, when it comes down to safety issues, though, that deputy better be able to look into their own safety as well as everybody else's.
That's right. You know, and I tell them all the time, you know, you can be safe and nice, you know. Yep. So, but being safe is something that we want everybody to be. We don't want anybody to get hurt. And, you know, I pray to God every day that I never have to face a school shooting or a deputy sheriff or a corrections officer or one of my employees getting killed in the line of duty. And I hope those two things never happen under my watch. And it's something that definitely worries me all the time. So.
And complacency is not how you prevent those things.
That's right.
You think about them ahead of time, and you'll never know if the actions that you took prevented it, but you'll certainly know if it didn't.
Perfect example is wearing your seatbelt. Mm-hmm. You know, the one deputy sheriff that we've had, or corrections officer we've had killed in modern times, is Timothy Todd Williams. And his daughter just graduated high school, and we gave her a gift. And I really wished he was here with us, but it was a car accident. So being safe isn't always about somebody trying to hurt a deputy sheriff. It's driving too fast, or not wearing your seatbelt, or making poor choices. So we try our best to make sure those guys do the right thing.
All right. Okay, we need to take another break. We're going to come back in just a moment, and we will have our crazy criminal of the week, as well as our property crimes, a few crimes that have been committed here recently that hopefully you can give us just a little bit of information that can help us crack those cases open and prevent some future crimes from happening here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. All right, we've got some property crimes that we hope you can help us solve. Between May 19th and May 21st, a residence on Roy Webb Road in Piedmont was burglarized. A Makita Sawzall, a handheld grinder, and a PlayStation 3 were stolen. Between March 20th and May 20th, a black 26-foot double-axle trailer loaded with a Bobcat Toolcat 5600 was taken from a residence located on Mark Green Road in Jacksonville. Between April 30th and May 21st, a storage facility located on Gate 5 Road in Alexandria had numerous units broken into. If you have information about any of these crimes or other crimes committed in Calhoun County, please contact Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Have you ever had to arrest a mayor?
Nope.
Let's hope that stays. I'm sure that wouldn't be much fun.
No, it wouldn't be much fun.
All right, well, imagine in some cases it might be, but we've got a mayor of a small town in Peru that got into some legal trouble, and you see him here. He tried to avoid getting arrested by playing dead.
That's awesome.
The mayor and his buddies decided that they were going to break the COVID curfew, and they went out drinking. And in the middle of the night, they're raising a ruckus, and the neighbors call in the disturbance. The police come out, and they hear the sirens, and they look, where can we run to? We ain't got time to run. Oh, here's these coffins that have been built.
That's bad mojo,
anticipating some coronavirus.
That's bad.
So they lay down in the coffins and play dead, trying to trick the police.
Well, it seems they didn't get away with it because we're talking about it. But there's certain things you don't do. You don't swear on your kids' lives, and you don't getting a coffin when you ain't dead. That's just, I can't do, that's bad mojo right there.
You think he's going to win the next election?
There's probably a certain party element that probably says that's awesome, but probably not. You know, major groups are like, you know, that goes back to what people don't like about government, the double standard.
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do. And, you know, people don't like that, you know, so we try not to do that at the sheriff's office. But people don't like a double standard, and that's a double standard right there. Get out of the coffin, Mayor, go to work, sober up.
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us. If you missed part of the program, you can always watch the entire show on YouTube or on tv24.tv. Go to the on-demand section, look for Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Or you can also catch the lineup and our property crimes on our Facebook page. We put videos out there. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.